Welcome back. Episode 44 of the Splat Sports Podcast. We've got a lot to talk about. It's March. GS, it's almost March Madness time. It's almost time for the madness.
Let's go. Best time of the year.
Best time of the year. Also, NFL free agency is also another great time of the year. Hold on, I got to close the tab. Travis Matthew. Sorry, shut up. Anyway, should we just jump into it, GS?
Yeah, let's jump into it.
Shout out No Rivals, new hat. Sponsors, please. All right, NFL free agency started. It officially opened up Wednesday, but we had some stars get paid. Max Crosby being one of them. Now we're going to talk about him along with the next topic, but he gets paid, I think, 103 million around there. He was the second highest non quarterback player up until another guy gets paid, which we will talk about here in a second. But Pete Carroll gets an elite pass rusher for his defense. I kind of thought that they were either going to trade him or he was going to get paid really well. Jess, your kind of thoughts?
Yeah, I mean you solidify your defensive front. You have a top probably three pass rusher in the NFL right now, and I think he's probably 27, 28 range, so he's still
Yeah,
in his prime, so that's good. And they get to, build around this Raiders team, this young team. They have a few draft picks, and they made some other trades as well. So
they
hopefully this
did.
can
They
be a
did.
good step in the right direction for the Raiders.
Yeah, they got a quarterback too. Geno Smith traded. Now, reports are saying that Geno Smith and DK Metcalf were involved in a trade with Max Crosby. But it seems like they didn't want to do that. They re-signed Crosby. They don't get DK. We're going to talk about him after this. But Geno Smith traded to the Raiders in exchange for I think a fifth or something, just a random pick. I like this trade. Geno and Pete Carroll, they had success together in the short time that they were there. I think honestly, this could work. Uh, I like Geno as a quarterback. I'm kind of surprised that they kind of went this route this early. I figured that they would wait, kind of see the free agent market, but instead go out and get a guy that you know is a proven success and know that's a winner. And you get Geno Smith.
Wait a minute. Okay.
Yep.
Uh,
Trying
I
to let it
mean,
flow
if
naturally.
this is a good trade because I think this is a good bridge quarterback. If in 2 3 years it's not working, he could be a good bridge quarterback. He's shown to be an above average quarterback. He brought the Seahawks his first year. He had a very solid, very productive year for them. So it's going to be interesting to see. I don't think there's that much pressure on him here. I think everybody knows that he may not be the permanent guy, but he's also a guy with the upside enough to get you into the playoffs. So I think this is a good trade for the Raiders, especially only giving up a fifth.
Yeah. Um, Speaking of another Seahawks star that was traded, DK Metcalf heading to Pittsburgh. Didn't expect that. We knew he either wanted to get paid or he wanted to get traded, and he ended up getting both. I think the Steelers paid him $150 million. I like the move for the Steelers. Now I'm going to talk about the Steelers here in a little bit. But as a wide receiver position, you get a star guy. You got George Pickens. You have him and Pat Fryermuth, three guys that you know are going to be open, know that are going to be able to make a play for you. I really do like this trade by the Steelers. It's interesting to see what else they're going to do. There's some rumors circulating, but we'll discuss those in a second. But as for the DK Metcalf trade, uh, thoughts on that?
Yeah, it was an interesting trade. It's kind of weird because I feel like those are not. I feel like these are a bunch of weird personalities go together. I don't know if George Pickens and DK Metcalf, because they both are guys, who want their ball in their hands. They both have been very vocal about it. DK didn't have a great year last year. He hasn't really had a great year past couple of years. He's just, he's just obviously this athletic, just insanely athletic person. And he's always, like Jamar Chases, he's always going to be open. It's just going to be a matter of can they throw it to him and can he also share it with George Pickens as well. So the extension was interesting to me. Is he worth 30 million a year? I don't know. I'd say he's probably close to. I'd say maybe more 25 range just because he hasn't, had those big seasons past couple of years. But still, with markets always going up, especially for what the wide receivers, it's still a solid deal. So it was solid overall for the Steelers. They just got to get a quarterback.
Yep. There you go. I do like the pairing. Some of them are calling a WWE tag team. I think that's awesome. So let's talk about some guys that got paid, though. Josh Allen, highly paid. He deserves it. MVP, kind of the savior of Buffalo these past couple years. $330 million. He got the bag. Congrats to him. I think he also just got married. He's having a wedding soon. I mean, guys got it going right now, Juros.
Yeah, this is 100% deserved in my opinion. And they also, I don't know if we're going to talk about it later, but they also just signed Nick Bosa, if you saw. So that's good for them. Uh,
Joey,
or Joey, sorry, my bad. But yeah, I get all
the boy.
there's so many D-line brothers in the NFL, I get them mixed up. So that's good for them. The Bills are trending in the right direction, and you got an MVP, and you just locked them down for a while. So that's good for the Bills, and hopefully they can contend for a Super Bowl in the next few years.
Yeah, I did not see that Joey Bosa was just signed.
Yeah, he just signed 1 year 15. It was only 1 year though. It's interesting. Or 1 year
Okay.
10 maybe. It was not. Let's say
I'm trying to
Joey
find it.
Bosa. Joey Bosa
Well,
1 year 12.6.
okay, so we can talk about that here in a minute. But let's talk about Miles Garrett. Miles Garrett also got paid. He was rumored to get traded. Requested trade, was very vocal that he doesn't want to be in Cleveland. Um, ends up getting a bag, 140 million, I think. It's about a $40 million per year deal. Or I think it might be a $40 million per year deal. Some stupid. He deserves it. What? How old is he? What? Third, 20, 29, 30,
Uh, 2016 draft
31?
class, I believe. So
So
he's getting close to that.
he's
Probably 29, 30.
30s. Yeah, I'd say in that range. I mean the guy, he's been a monster. He's been unstoppable. I don't know if this means they're going to keep him. Makes him hard to trade. But I feel like if you're signing a guy to this big of a deal, you're going to keep him. Um,
Okay, well, you're kind of just like trying to think of
I,
something.
I was waiting on you to,
Okay,
kind of
I
let it flow
think that
naturally.
yeah, I got it. I think I don't know why the Browns did this. I mean, they're in this weird point where they're trying to get rid of already like a $200 million contract, so they just signed another one, which is kind of weird to me. But I mean, I feel like you could have got so much for him, so much draft capital, especially at a point, where you're just trying to, you're gonna lose Nick Chubb, who I believe they have both agreed that to like part ways or something. So you're losing almost everybody. I mean, your best player last year was probably
Miles
uh
Garrett.
Jerry, or yeah, him, and your best offense star is Jerry Judy. So it'd be interesting where they go with this. I was surprised I would have traded him just because you get so much value, but good for Miles Garrett. I'm giving the bag.
Yep. There you go. Now let's talk about the rest of the free agency deals. There's a lot. I'm gonna kind of hit the highlights here. Let me pull them up real quick. I had it saved. All right, here we go. So the Arizona Cardinals signed Josh Sweat, huge deal, 4 years, 76.4 million. We're gonna do these speed kind of round here, GS. We're gonna hit the highlights. Good pickup for him, Super Bowl champion. Injury prone, yes. Eagles took a chance on him. He was a baller. GS, your kind of thoughts?
Yeah, just uh, I don't really know much to say here. I mean, it's just well deserved, but I mean, at the end of the day, you can't predict injuries, so
Yeah.
you can't really do that.
Yep. Falcons have not signed anyone of note. Uh, we're gonna talk about the Falcons here in a little minute. The Ravens, DeAndre Hopkins, 1 year, $6 million. I don't know how I feel about this. I feel like DeAndre Hopkins and Zay Flowers are very similar in a sense of they're kind of a safety blanket for a quarterback. DeAndre Hopkins was in Houston, in Tennessee. Sure, I guess. Heroes.
I wouldn't consider DeAndre Hopkins like a safety blanket. I mean, he was kind of like a Jamar Chase for a little bit in Houston. I mean, Deshaun Watson led the league in
Yeah.
pass yards with them. I mean, Zay Flowers is more of a speed threat. He's either going to run a little flat almost, or just he's going deep. So it's an interesting. Rashad Bateman has served him well the past few years. So I'm wondering what this means for him. But I mean, you add another possible future Hall of Famer, maybe even. So I mean, in a 7-year deal, I mean, no one's going to complain about a 1 year, $7 million deal in the NFL. So
Yeah. So let's go to the Bills. We already talked about Josh Allen. We also didn't talk about Gregory Rousseau. 4 years, $80 million. He's their edge rusher. Good pickup for them. They kept him. Joey Bosa, of course. I like the pickup. Bolster up the defensive line. The deal that I'm really liking for the Bills, Josh Palmer. 3 years, 36 million, cheap deal. Not just because he's a Tennessee boy and I'm wearing all Tennessee stuff, but because this is kind of what the Bills needed. They need kind of that third option, a guy that can definitely help. I definitely think the climate might affect him a little bit, going from LA to Buffalo, but I think he'll be fine. Just your
yeah, they lost Matt Collins. I believe he went to the Giants, so you kind of get that third spot wrapped up almost. And he's just a slow and going wide receiver. He'll get you 2 to 3 catches a game, and he can make a play if you really do need it or you need someone out. So it's a solid pickup. Surprised he got 36 million, but good for him as a former VFL.
I mean, he's got the stats to back it up. Not necessarily the stats that, light up the
Yeah.
play sheet, but he's consistent, and that's the big thing. The Panthers, J.C. Horn, 4 years, $100 million. He re-signed. I think he's the highest paid cornerback, or he's up there. Good pickup for them, and that's about it. Really, Trishawn Wharton, 3 years, $54 million. Panthers, I'm not expecting much from them. The Bears, they traded for Jonah Jackson, Joe Thuney for the offensive line. They sign Deo. Lord help me. Odigbo, 3 years, 48 million. The defensive edge rusher from the Colts, really good. Then they signed two former Falcons, Grady Jarrett to play defensive tackle, 3 years, 43.5 million. Drew Dowman, 3 years, 42 million. Bolstering up the offensive and defensive lines, US. I think this is what this team needed. I think running back's really just kind of the running back and another wide receiver, maybe.
Hmm.
Yeah. All right. Bengals. They retained a lot. T. Higgins, of course, got that franchise tag. That's about it. Cleveland Browns. They traded for Kenny Pickett. They haven't signed anyone else. Signed Devin Bush. Now we get to the Cowboys. Here we go. You ready for this, US? How
Yeah.
much? How? What do you think the highest besides guys that they've re-signed? Who do you think? How much money? I'm gonna throw out four names. All right.
I
How
I I
much
saw I
money
saw the I saw this tweet. So you're right.
combined?
Oh,
Four. They
combined.
signed. They have signed four guys. All right. Solomon Thomas on a 2-year deal. Rob Jones on a 1-year deal. Javante Williams on a 1-year deal, and Peyton Turner on a 1-year deal. So it's four guys.
I saw Javante was 3. That's the only guy I've seen so
Okay,
far.
so you got that.
Yeah, I know they haven't signed anybody more than like a $6 million deal other than CD and Dak over the past year. I'll say let's go with $9.5 million.
Wow. Okay, you're selling it short.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
19 or it's 1875. I think. Yeah.
Guess Jerry's oil pipeline's
Eighteen
running
point
out then.
seven five million. Solomon Thomas making $8 million, 2 years, $8 million. So rough there. The Broncos secretly, quietly, I think have had a really good off season. Um, Talona Hufanga, He's the 49ers safety. He battled some injuries last year. 3 years, 45 million. Good pickup. And Dre Greenlaw, 3 years, 35 million. Really do like those two pickups for him. The Lions, they signed DJ Reed, $48 million. Good pickup for him. Packers signed Aaron Banks, Nate Hobbs. Aaron Banks making bank, 77 million. Nate Hobbs, 48 million. So pretty good there. The Texans also having a, not secretly, but they're having a pretty good one. They trade for Christian Kirk. They also trade for CJ Gardner Johnson from the Eagles. And then they haven't really signed anyone of note. Darrell Taylor,
Did they
Braxton
lose Larry
Garrett.
Tunzel?
I believe so. Let's see if I can find them when we get there.
Yeah.
Colts bolster up the secondary. Cameron Bynum, known for the dances in Minnesota. I really like it. 4 years, $60 million. And Tre'Davious Ward, 3 years, $60 million. Good pickup for them. Jaguars. They signed Patrick McCarry, 37.5 million. He's a really good interior offensive lineman, can play anywhere. Jordan Lewis, cornerback, another solid guy, 30 million. Eric Murray, Robert Downey Brown, and a couple other guys. Solid pickups there. The Chiefs, Christian Fulton from the Chargers, really like them. Really like him. Jalen Moore, I think, where is he from? The Rams, maybe? Another good pickup there, 30 millions. And Elijah Mitchell, backup running back there. We talked about the Raiders and who they have signed. They also signed Jeremy Chin. So, let's see. Chargers haven't done anything of note. Najee Harris, Najee Harris is interesting. I don't
It
think he's going to
fits the
fit.
role. It fits the Gus Edwards role.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
It's a good fit for that team, at least.
Yeah. Devontae Adams going to the Rams. Dress.
Um, it's kind of interesting. I don't think like Cooper. I don't see Devontae Adams working over the middle a lot as much Cooper and Puka did. So it'll be interesting how he plays there. You have Stafford, so you know they're going to be able to get to him. It's just kind of a matter of how it works in McVay's system.
Yeah. Dolphins haven't really done anything of note. Vikings, Will Fries, $88 million for really good guard. Jonathan Allen, former Commander, 3 years, $60 million. Ryan Kelly, center, $18 million. And Isaiah Rogers, Javon Hargrave, also just signed there. So some big pickups there in Minnesota. Patriots have spent that money. Milton Williams, he was going to sign with the Panthers, goes to the Patriots, hired contract, 4 years, $104 million. Carlton Davis, 3 years, $60 million. Harold Landry, 3 years, $43.5 million. Robert Spill, I can't say the last name. 3 years, 37 million. Morgan Moses, 3 years, 24 million. Mac Hollins, 8.4 million. Josh Dobbs, 8 million. Some other guys. I like the Patriots. They're kind of rebranding. They're saying, "Hey, we're gonna have a really good defense, kind of that Bravel style." Curious, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean it's kind of what Vrabel did in Tennessee, almost try to get a stout defense and try to have an above average offense and see how it works. And it worked for him in the past. You know, a lot of people think he shouldn't have been fired because he wasn't given much of anything in Tennessee. So
Yeah,
I expect this to work, especially back in New England, where this is the style he played in and it's where they won so many championships.
yeah. Saints. Devon Goodchocks traded from the Patriots. Defensive tackle. They kept Chase Young, 51 million. Jawan Johnson.
Don't ask me
Sure.
why he got that much. I have no idea why he got that much.
I'm pretty sure they also re-signed Tyrann Matthew, I think, but it's not
Yeah, and
reported. Justin Reed is their only signing. Good signing for him.
mhm.
37.5 million. We're going to talk about our teams here in a second, Jura, so you can talk about that. The Giants have made some interesting moves here. A lot of people point to the fact that they were willing to pay Darius Slayton $36 million, but not Saquon the money that he was wanting, which was about the same. Um, why? Darius Slayton older doesn't make any sense. They also signed Paulson. Bear with me. Adebo, something
Olsen
like
and
that.
Debo.
54 million. Javon Holland, another solid player. 45 million. Chauncey Golston, 19.5 million. Why sign Darius Slayton to this money, not Saquon Giras?
Mm, don't ask me. I don't know. I've I don't know what goes on up there.
Jeez Louise, we've been recording for 20 minutes, Giras. Anyway, the Jets, Justin Fields, Giras, how you feeling?
I don't hate it. I mean, this is kind of his final chance. I wish they would have gave him a couple more years, 2 years. But at the end of the day, you have Garrett Wilson, you have Brees Hall, and I think it could be a pretty good dynamic running attack with Brees Hall and Justin Fields. Has gosh, I can't think of their coach's name. Defense coordinator. What was his name? Defense coordinator for the Lions. Didn't you go over there?
Aaron Glenn.
Yeah. Who's his OC? Do you know yet?
I do not know yet. No.
Yeah. Okay. Well, those two together could be a pretty dynamic duo. So be
All
interesting
right.
to see.
The Eagles, they signed Zach Bond. Sorry, Zach Bond. Jeez Louise. 3 years, $51 million. They re-signed him. Saquon Barkley also got an extension, 2 years, 41.2 million. Well deserved. Steelers, DK Metcalf, of course. That's about it. 49ers. They've lost a lot, G-Russ. Lost Kyle Juszczyk, and they haven't
Mhm.
necessarily re-signed anyone yet, or they haven't necessarily redone anything. Of course, you got a lot of cap issues there. Luke Farrell being the only guy of note, 3 years, 25 million. Demarcus Robinson, 2 years, 9.5. So that's kind of the big things there. Seahawks. They signed Sam Darnold, G. Russ,
I,
3 years.
I actually kind of like it. I think I can't think of his name all of a sudden. Holy crap. Jackson Smith and Jigba. I think that he kind of fits almost more like a Jordan Addison role, almost a little bit. So Sam Darnold will have a similar guy there. And I think he has Kenneth Walker too. So I think that, it could be maybe even more balanced running and passing attack. He did have Aaron Jones, but there was time where he's injured. Same with Kenneth Walker, but I think Kenneth Walker has a little bit more upside. So it'll be interesting to see how this offense works, especially with them wanting to run it more this year.
He also reunites with his former offensive coordinator there. So pretty good
Kubiak.
deal there. What was that?
Kubiak.
Oh, I thought you said yeah. Um, I didn't know what that was. The Buccaneers, they re-signed Chris Godwin. He was rumored to go to the Patriots, $66 million. I love that deal. Hassan Reddick also going to the Bucks, $14 million. Solid deal for Hassan Reddick. The Titans signed Dan Moore Jr., 4 years, 82 million, and Cody Barton, 21 million. Pretty solid out of them. The Commanders, they traded for Laramie Tunsil, so you are correct. I like that. They also re-signed basically the retirement home of Bobby Wagner, Zach Ertz, and Tress Way. And they also signed Javal Kinlaw, $45 million. Like that deal. And that's it. That's free agency so far. There's still a lot of big names, including Aaron Rodgers, G-Russ. There's some teams out there that need a quarterback. Uh, do they want Aaron Rodgers? Who knows? But one's in New York and one's in Pennsylvania.
Mhm.
What are we thinking here?
Um, the Steelers make the most sense to me. I don't understand why Aaron Rodgers would want to go to New York where there's basically nothing. You have Malik Neighbors, but other than that, it's
And Darius
kind of
Slayton.
yeah, and there's Slane, I guess. But it's just I don't know. I mean, like I said last episode, I think he should just retire. I don't think neither of these situations are gonna work out well, especially since he's gonna want a ton of money. And I think Pittsburgh, they have a lot of money in their defense. I think they just got DK Metcalf. George Pickens will be extended soon, probably. So it'll be interesting to see that. They also don't have, or anyway, did they re-sign Warren? Has he officially signed
I
back
don't
yet or anything?
know. I didn't see his name on there, but he might have.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, you're looking at Warren. I mean, he's a solid running back, but at the end of the day, he's not gonna cut it. So it's I don't know. I feel like Aaron Rodgers. Well, Hunter, I feel like Aaron Rodgers. I just still think he should retire. I don't think there's a good fit for him anywhere right now.
Yeah. I like the move to the Steelers. I, why go all in on like DK Metcalf and signing these guys and making moves like this and not get a quarterback when you need one? I mean, Russell Wilson's still out there if you want to run that back, which I think letting go of Justin Fields is a big mistake. He's got a lot of upside. He was successful when they played him. Still young. It's just tough for me to comprehend. But I would see Aaron Rodgers going to the Steelers. I think he's in advanced talks anyway. So who knows what that means? But let's switch to the NBA. LeBron's out. Uh, LeBron's out. Let's have a moment of silence. Boom, 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 boom. Hit the rolling on. I forgot the words. uh, LeBron's out, groin. I think he's out for 1 to 2 weeks. No point in watching basketball
Dang.
anymore. Yeah, Celtics are winning though, so love to
How
see
many
it.
games have you watched this year, the Celtics?
None. I watch playoffs. Listen, I know. Well, I have watched. I've watched highlights, and I go back and I look at stuff, and I'm up to date with them. But Peyton Pritchard balling out, 6th man of the year. Oh, some people saying he's not. Don't be slandering my boy. Oregon product. Let's go to baseball, where we're also going to have another moment of silence.
No, we're not.
Garrett, Juris, you want to cover this one?
I mean, what should I say?
Garrett Cole has Tommy John surgery. Um, yeah, I mean, this is.
Hey, we dealt with it all last year, buddy. It just sucks, man. Sucks.
Um,
Stain's injured too, right? Stain's got some elbow issues or something.
yeah, Garrett Cole. Yeah, this sucks. Really stinks because I kind of felt like the Yankees were going all in too, being like, "Hey, we lost one, but let's get wild." Devin Williams, Cody Bellinger, Paul Goldschmidt, a couple other guys in there.
Marcus Stroman has a spot now.
Lord help us. There's been rumors that we're gonna trade for someone, Juras. Couple
I know.
pitchers.
I know.
Sandy
Yeah,
Alcantara.
you wish,
Big
buddy.
big likes
You
on that
wish,
one.
buddy. You wish, buddy.
All right. In
What?
all honesty, I do think that the Yankees are going to possibly make a move for a pitcher like Sandy Alcantara. Maybe not. Maybe not Sandy. Maybe a guy like Dylan Cease. I could see Dylan Cease in the Bronx. But let's talk about some breakout stars because I don't want to talk about the Yankees. Giros, I know, has a couple. I'm going to go with mine first. I think Jackson Holiday is going to have a bounce back year and really break out. It was very sad to see him struggle like he did. He came up, started out hot, but I think he had a 129 grant, something in there.
Yeah,
He's
but
low.
I think but he got better near the end of the year.
Yeah, he got better towards the end of the year. I know he battled some injuries, battled some yips. But I think Justin Holiday could on a very good Orioles team, a team that kind of lost and didn't really gain anything this offseason either. I could see him. I could see Jackson Holiday being the guy for him. Just your guy.
I'm gonna stay in the AL here. Most people probably haven't heard of him. He's pretty young. He's pitcher for the Guardians. I'm gonna go with Gavin Williams of
Mm-hmm.
the Guardians. He's still pretty young. It's his third year this year. First year in the league, he had a 3.29 ERA. Last year wasn't as good. He did have a 4.8, but he did battle some injuries during that time. According to metrics and stuff, including your height and everything, among starters, he has the second fastest fastball to the plate at point like 3 seconds or something insane. So he can throw it
Hey.
hard enough. He's staying around 100 a ton. His other pitches, he has four seam, curve, cutter, slider, change, which is all, you know, good pitches. I think his slider is more of like a Spencer Strider curveball to where it stays higher and it drops later, even though it may not be as far, which is still pretty good. That's really good for strikeouts. We've seen Spencer Strider possibly get to 300 strikeouts, which has not been done in a while, I believe since Gerrit Cole actually. So it'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see how he does, especially in AL where it's all about pitching. So hopefully he can help the Guardians try to replicate what they did last year and keep these low scoring games going and pitch incredibly well and hopefully win the Central.
There you go. MLB show is almost here. I just want to throw this in here because I will be playing that all weekend long. Ted Williams, Jose Batista, back in the game, Jules. Love to see it. It's March. You know what that means. Basketball is key. And we have some conference tournaments going on. Actually, all of them. Juris. We got some ones to look out for here. The SEC's one, just because who really knows?
Who have if Lenardi, the all the bracket people are saying if either Tennessee, Florida, or Alabama
Bama
wins, they
man.
will get the final one seed.
Yes. Um, Big Ten, another one to possibly look out for up there. Big 12, I think, is pretty much locked up for Houston,
Houston or Kansas probably.
Houston or
Or
Kansas.
BYU. BYU's played
Texas
pretty good.
Tech maybe can make a late run too
Yeah.
in there. ACC, it's Duke or Clemson, in my opinion. I don't think
Oh,
anyone else. Maybe I don't like Louisville. I just don't
they
like
play good.
Lansing. And then we also have the Big East, UConn, St. John's. I think Creighton, maybe
Yes,
they're not in the big.
Creighton.
Are they in the Big East?
Mm,
I don't think they
I
are.
think so. I don't know for sure though, because they're
Oh,
out in
they're
Nebraska
out. Well, yeah. I
or
don't think
Kansas or somewhere in Midwest. That's
they're in Nebraska, Omaha. Anyway,
yeah.
we got some stuff to look out for, GS. We got some exciting stuff. I love conference tournament week. I love March Madness week. I think I don't know if we're doing a live show or not. I want to, but I don't know with timing of everything. I don't think it's gonna work out.
Yeah, I have state.
Yeah,
So
that's what. Probably not, but we will be covering it. So, oh crap. Who should be the one seed, Giros? Who should be the last one seed? We know Duke is going to be a one seed. We know Auburn's going to be a one seed. Then it's kind of a toss up. Giros, what are we thinking here?
yeah, I believe the three that are almost clearly are Duke, Auburn, and Houston. So I think it comes down to one of the three SEC teams
Yep.
between Florida, Tennessee, and Alabama. I think Florida is the best out of those three. They have the depth. They play like 4 7-footers, which is insane. They have so much depth. They score at a high level. They can defend at a high level. Whereas Tennessee and Alabama, it's more so. Alabama, great offense. Their defense can be mediocre at times. Tennessee, they go probably 4 to 6 minutes at a time without even getting a great look, let alone scoring a basket. But they can play good defense. So when I look at those three teams together, I look at Florida, who has one of the best guards in the country, Walter Clayton. They have so much size and length, and they have a one of the best second options in the league, and Elijah Martin, who's averaging I think 15 or 16. So I think the most complete team out of those three is Auburn, and I like them. So if it was Auburn to win that SEC tournament, I think it'd be Florida and get that one seed.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Here's the thing about Florida. They're really young. which is another thing. Then it is shown. Yeah, I'm saying like in their bigs.
Okay.
It is shown. I think Florida's very beatable, in my opinion. I just think they are. Tennessee and Alabama, they're kind of an older team. I feel like they've got some experience coming in here. I think Alabama or Tennessee has the better shot at getting it. It just really depends. Here's the issue, though. Tennessee's going to have to beat Auburn. Um, Tennessee's also going to have to beat whoever they play, and possibly could be A&M. So who really knows? I just think that Tennessee or Alabama has the better shot. Besides Florida, I'm just not a big fan of Florida. I also think Auburn's very beatable. Just throwing it out there. I think that you've been the number one team, but when they played Alabama, they just kind of lost their minds a little bit. I mean, what's his name?
Joe
Benzara.
Baker, Joe Baker,
Yeah,
Mazzara.
throwing elbows. It's last game of the year, dude. You don't need to
Yeah,
be doing that.
he gets to come back. He'll be 26 next year.
Yeah. Get the LinkedIn jersey ready for you, buddy. Boo, I'm a job application. Anyway, I I don't know. We'll see with March. I'll we'll see with March. But that's it. Jesus loves you. Um, we'll see you sometime. I don't know when. All right, cheers. Peace out. Bye.